presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore! We are Detroit!
When it comes to Thanksgiving at Muskegon Catholic Central, hoisting a trophy has become as common as passing the stuffing. Back-to-back titles are nice, but they've returned to downtown Detroit looking for a third. However, it's going to be tough sailing for the Crusaders. Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes has sent a flotilla to Ford Field to watch their Lakers battle for the Division 8 state championship. The MHSAA football finals are presented to you by Arby's. It's the Division 8 state championship game between the Lakers of Waterford, Our Lady of the Lakes, and Crusaders of Muskegon Catholic Central. Welcome inside Ford Field, everyone, along with former Spartans wide receiver Keith Nickel. I'm Dan Dickerson. This is fun. We've got a lot of football, 8 games of championship football the next 2 days. Keith, you have been here as a player. You know what this is like. This is a lot of fun. It's exciting for these kids.
It doesn't get any better than this. Ford Field, your friends, your family, you've grown up with the same guys your whole life, and you're on the biggest stage. So you're here to show what it's all about, take home the championship, and it's truly a moment that these kids will remember for the rest of their life.
Division 8 is the smallest division, but there's a lot of talent, and we're going to see it on display the next 2 days.
Yep.
And Keith, the thing that stands out with Muskegon Catholic Central, they have run their way to a state championship the last 2 years, but this is a big play offense led by Latami Scott.
Well, these guys, 3 running backs, you think when you see these sets, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, that is not the case. These guys will pound it, but they are going to spring some big plays, and Waterford, Our Lady of the Lakes, their defense will have their hands full.
Walker Christofferson, Logan Helton joined Latami Scott in the backfield. Latami Scott has averaged almost 11 yards every time he touches the ball. He's been amazing. So the task of stopping these guys, Keith, falls on the Lakers' defense. This is a very good defense. They've got guys who can fly around, and they've been very consistent all year long.
Yep. Well, let's talk about the big guy up front.
And he's big.
Oh, he's big. 300 pounds, man. He will clog it up. He can play defense, and he's going to give that whole line a tough time. But you got Gabe Nichols, Ryan Kostic, guys who played a ton of football, created a ton of tackles, 300 combined for their career. These guys can flat out play.
Anthony Clark is that big guy up front. His coach says that he can take over a game when he is on his game. And they've got some guys in that defensive backfield like Devin Cenarius who can pick a ball off and return it. Now, Waterford also has a very explosive offense, and they can throw the ball, so we're looking for big plays all day long. If the Lakers want to win their first championship since 2002, they've got to beat the 2-time defending state champion to do it. This is going to be a heck of a matchup to start 2 full days of high school football. Kickoff is coming up next.
Let's go!
And continue to fight for the freedoms we all enjoy. Let us honor.
Gentlemen, welcome. Listen carefully. I'm going to give you my secret recipe how to become a state champion. Number 1, you need commitment, and that commitment state championship trophy. It's time. Let the big dogs eat on Fox Sports Detroit.
You can hear me okay? All right. All right.
Nice, boss. Good, your volume controls for that. Okay. You want to test your talk back? Okay. So you go ahead. Talk back. Press that and talk back to me. There, you guys hear me? Awesome, man. What do you need me to do for that? Check the tally, he says.
Check.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3.
Try your talk back. Yep.
Okay. Play with the screen here a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Is there going to be arrows or anything like that? Okay, that's about it. All right. Okay, so that's what I'm working with. Look, the other one had a bunch of arrows and stuff. I'm just circling and pointing. Okay.
A lot of times
Gentlemen, welcome. Listen carefully. I'm going to give you my secret recipe how to become a state champion. Number one, you need commitment. And that commitment doesn't start today. It should have started at the end of last season. In the weight room, in 7-on-7s, in agility drills. You have to be committed as... Yeah, coach.
Hey, when they're on that odd front, bringing that six-man pressure from the weak side, how are you going to pick that up?
What do you say, just block them better? How about that? Try that for a change. All right, second thing, intensity. You have to exude it so your players want to emulate what you're doing. They're going to get out there, practice hard every day like there's no tomorrow. Yeah, coach.
Coach, the option's been killing us all year. What should we do to stop it?
Just tackle better. You know, I mean, this is simple. All right, believe. You have to believe in your players, then they will believe in you. And if you get that belief, that type of trust, they will do anything for you. They will respond to what you want. Yeah, Coach Nowak, what do you need?
They're in an empty set running 4 verts.
Yeah.
How are we going to cover that?
Just have your guys cover them.
Cover
Try that.
2? Cover 4?
Yeah, whatever. You just have one for each guy. All right, moving on. Follow these simple instructions. You too can create a masterpiece. Look at this. State championship trophy. It's time. Let the big dogs eat. On Fox Sports Detroit.
It's all very simple. Division 8 Finals. Welcome back inside Ford Field. The head coach for Waterford, Josh Sawicki. He was a guard on the state championship team in 2002. He's just 28 years old, and he's bringing his team to the state championship game for the first time. Across the way, Steve Zerwan. His team have won state championship games. He's also in just his 3rd year, and they won championships in each of his first 2 seasons as head coach at Muskegon. 2 fine head coaches, 2 fine teams. Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes won the coin toss. They deferred to the second half. So Muskegon Catholic Central has Latami Scott deep, along with Walker Christofferson. And they're going to try a little pooch kick on the kickoff. Try to keep the ball out of the hands of Latami Scott, and given his explosiveness, you can certainly understand, but that means very good field position for Muskegon Catholic Central, as they'll be right at their 40-yard line, their first possession. Their quarterback is Christian Martinez. We talked about the 3 guys in the backfield who can break a play on almost any down. Christian Martinez, his coach Steve Zerwan said this guy makes it go.
People like to talk about our 3 running backs in the backfield. Christian really does add a 4th component with some of the read option stuff we've done, and then he's a excellent passer. We're not a program founding on passing the ball, but he's very capable when we ask him to, and I think we've gotten pretty proficient at it over the year.
Every one of these guys who touches the ball averages at least 6 yards a carry. That's Walker Christofferson, held to just 4 yards, so you're feeling like you've accomplished something if you're the defense holding these guys to under 5 yards on any given carry.
You're already seeing some creativity there with those guys on a jet sweep and a toss to the right.
Christian Martinez ran for over 400 yards this year. Again, Latami Scott ran for almost 1,200. And when you see a running back averaging almost 11 yards a carry, as Latami Scott is, and he's split to the near side, number 20, it's a young man to keep an eye on. Now, this is a different look for Muskegon Catholic Central. A little screen to the wide receiver to Walker Christofferson out of the backfield, fighting his way to that first down marker. Oh, that's good hard running by Christofferson. The quick toss from Martinez, and it looks like he got the first down.
Yeah, well, it's obviously want to keep the tempo up, and they want to get these guys out in open space. They feel their athletes can make some plays. Those guys did a great job in the perimeter already, making some blocks for them.
See that offensive line? The center is Robert Judice Jr., who leads that offensive line. The backfield loaded with big play threats. A team that loves to run, but on any given play can break one for a lot of yards. High formation in the backfield. And the give again is to Christofferson. He's handled the ball all 3 times in the first 3 plays, and he gets about 5 yards. You see that good push from that offensive line. Simpson, Schulte, Judice, Holt, and Brock Johnson up front. Let's take a look at that defense for the Lakers, which has been so good. Anthony Clark, we highlighted in the open, and he's flanked by Liam Sutton, Brendan Heiss, Hunter Hilton, and McLean Bertram up front. The big linebackers are Gabe Nichols and Ryan Kostic. Devin Cenarius, Chris Cartier in that defensive backfield lead the team with 4 interceptions each. We're not going to see a lot of balls through the air today. It'll be the short, safe routes for the most part from Muskegon Catholic Central. There's the first carry of the day for Latami Scott. Nice tackle there, because that's what you have to do, Keith. With this guy, you got to make sure you bring him down, because if he breaks a tackle, he's gone.
Right, this is not an arm tackle day. They got to bring the shoulder pads and get these guys in the ground and get them before they get to the next level, because these guys will spring it if you let them.
3rd and 3.
Almost 1,100 yards on the ground for Latami Scott, and again, that 11-yard per carry average stands out. So 3rd down and 4 for Muskegon Catholic Central on their first possession of the day. There is Latami Scott, good cut inside the tackle, and he gets the first down before Devin Scenarius brings him down on the defensive backfield for the Lakers. A gain of 11 and a first down for the Crusaders.
Well, you're already starting to see what Muskegon Catholic Central is all about. They are not. I don't think they've been in the same formation since they've opened up the game here. They did a toss sweep quick, and the right tackle did a great job on the kick out there. You'll see him. Number 77 gets a little block there at 15. Everybody's blocking, and they move the chains.
This is the typical T formation that you'll see, but we've only seen it. This is the first time we've seen it. Walker Christofferson gets the carry. Look at the push up front from that offensive line. He gets a good 6-7 yards on first down.
There's going to be a battle all day in the trenches. I'm interested to see who throughout the 4 quarters is going to win that battle. You're going to see here, off right tackle, number 3 sticks his foot in the ground. Number 53 trying to make a tackle there. You got to make those tackles in these kind of games here. But a great push by the O-line. Big guy's making a big push.
Chase Simpson is a 230-pound left tackle. That's Brock Johnson. We're taking a look at him on the right side, a 275-pound junior tackle. They can move some people. They spread it out in this formation. Quick toss to Latami Scott, almost pulled down in the backfield, but he breaks one tackle, then spins out of another to get a couple of extra yards shy of the first down. But boy, they had a chance, the Lakers did, to get him down in the defensive backfield and just missed a big opportunity. And there's one of those 2 linebackers, Gabe Nichols. Nichols and Costage, it's worth repeating, combined for 300 tackles in the time that they've been playing together the last couple of seasons. 300 tackles gives you an idea of how much these guys are flying to the ball.
You're already starting to see it, Dan. These guys fly around, they swarm to the football. You can see why they've had so much success in the past.
Martinez under center, the give, Latami Scott, and he's hit in the backfield. Whoa, what a play. Gabe Nichols sliced through that offensive line and drops him for a loss of 2.
There's our man sticking it up in the middle there, making a big stop. You're going to see him come off to the left side here. Sticks his foot in the ground, brings his shoulder pads. It's a big hit. Number 20 won't forget that hit either.
Block was missed, and when you miss a block, Gabe Nichols is going to take advantage. 4th down, and a long 3 from outside the 25 for the Crusaders. They give, and first down. Christian Martinez keeps it and gets the first down, and not going to see many field goals in high school football generally, especially Division 8 level, and they go for it on 4th down and get it right down to the 21-yard line. Good run by Christian Martinez.
Well, I'm really liking the play calling so far, Dan. These guys are keeping you on your toes. This defense can play some great football, but if they're constantly on their heels trying to fly around and figure out what's going on, it's going to be tough to stop these guys. But they're being creative so far, and it's a lot of fun.
10th play of the drive for the Crusaders, 2-time defending state champions. 3 wide outs to the left. They like to run a lot of bubble screens, wide receiver screens. We'll see what Martinez does out of this formation. He's going to keep it. Looking for a little bit of running room. Got a block, but the Lakers stack him up. Right at the line of scrimmage, led by Devin Scenarius. In that defensive backfield, he came up close quickly, and the rest of the Lakers swarmed. Not much there at all for Christian Martinez, the senior quarterback.
Devin Scenarius making a tremendous play out here. You thought there was going to be a big play with the running and the blocking he had out in front of him. He sticks his foot in the ground, finds a way past the blockers, and makes a big stop.
Coming up to help him was Hunter Hilton in that defensive backfield. So we'll call it no gain on first down. 2nd and 10 for Muskegon Catholic Central, and timeout as they get ready to run their 11th play of this drive. So we will take a break. The Crusaders want to talk it over. They're moving the ball on the ground, facing a tough Lakers defense. They're facing 2nd and long when we come back.
age 17 and high school junior interested in learning more about the guard, text my guard. That's MIGUARD to 95577. Hey, whether you win or lose, it's how much fun you have after the game. Join us tonight at Applebee's. Late night half-price appetizers. Applebee's, the official restaurant of the NHSAA.
Let's go, Green!
So facing second and long, Muskegon Catholic Central wanted to talk to her. What do you think head coach Steve Sirwan saw there, Keith, that he obviously didn't like something as they went to the line?
Well, you can tell that these guys are keeping the defense on their toes. He must have not liked the formation and the momentum that they're keeping here, maybe even giving these guys a rest. His O-line's been plugging away and shoving this D-line around a little bit, so he's just resetting up. You see a three-man stack on the right side here. We'll see what they do.
Martinez out of the shotgun, 3 on the right side. They're going to throw that little bubble screen to Christopherson, and he's going to be dragged down in the backfield, led by Devin Cenarius again. That's been a very successful big play for Muskegon this year, and this time the Lakers are ready.
Devin Cenarius making another big play for these guys. He weaves his way through blockers really well, and he's really aggressive, brings his shoulder pads and his momentum and his power there, brings the net down for a nice tackle in the backfield.
Boy, they blew up the blockers on the outside, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely.
That was impressive defense, and that's what we expect to see from the Lakers today. Again, you're looking at 4-down territory from where the Muskegon Catholic Central Crusaders are right now. They're facing third, and we'll call the long 11 from outside the 20. Martinez looking to throw under pressure. Still looking, more pressure. Oh, he's all the way back to the 45 on the run. Needs a block, gets it, throws deep. He's got a man wide open, and he just missed Logan Helton for what would have been a sure touchdown.
Well, he had his man, and he did a tremendous job of scrambling there. You see his athletic ability. He probably wishes he had that football back.
A lot of scrambling, and the Lakers defense lost Logan Helton.
Well, Waterford did a tremendous job of covering the quarterback and even the receivers downfield. Lost track of their man for about a split second, and they almost paid for it, but a tremendous push and a tremendous swarming of the quarterback there by their guys and keeping him on his heels.
Well, I was wrong. They will try a field goal from this spot on the field. 39-yard attempt. And the kick is up, and plenty of distance. Hits the upright and falls down. Jose Zambrano had plenty of leg, and that would have been good from another 10 yards back, and he hit the left upright, and this game remains scoreless. That's a big stop for the Lakers.
Had the distance there. Tremendous leg on that kid, but Waterford feeling good about coming out of that scoreless. Starting at the 20-yard line here. See what they come out with. But a big stop.
Clay Cenarius is one heck of a quarterback for Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes. This is an offense that has gained more than 6,000 yards this year. They've scored 542 points, and Keith, they do it through the air and on the ground. It's almost a 50-50 split, and you just don't see that at Division VIII very often.
No, very rarely do you see the ability to run and throw the football at that level. Clay Cenarius, they have a ton of confidence in this kid.
Isaac Oliver on the carry, Adam Benoit on the stop. Josh Sawicki very impressed with his senior quarterback and the job that he has done this year.
Cerebral player, really can find the open spots, understands coverages, understands where the ball needs to be, and he spreads it out, which is always good. He keeps everyone involved, and we get a lot of touches to a lot of different guys. And he is the architect of that for sure.
Chris Cartier on the carry, and it was a battle just to get a couple of yards, but Josh Sawicki also very impressed with the leadership abilities of Clay Cenarius and just his ability. When they look to him for a big play, he says he almost always delivers. And his twin brother is number 11. You heard us talk about him defensively, Devin Cenarius, and that is one of his favorite targets. He's hooked up with his twin brother 61 times this year, throwing for almost 3,000 yards.
The Cenarius brothers going to be busy today. Already going deep.
Third and long going deep, and that ball is picked off at the 40-yard line by Walker Christopherson. He was looking for Ryan Kostic, but the coverage was superb by Christopherson.
Testing him deep already, but tremendous coverage and patience by the DBs there, willing to go up and make a play. Thought he had his man there. And a tremendous interception by him.
Yep, you could see that he felt like he had Kostic beating Latami Scott, which he had, but he didn't see the safety, Christopherson, coming over. Fine defensive work. So it acts really just like a long punt.
Yeah, it's not the worst case scenario here. They're doing just fine. They got to stick their foot back in the ground and get another stop.
Crusaders of Catholic Central on their own 40. This is where they started their first drive. After the little pooch kick on the kickoff. Christopherson on the carry, breaks out of one tackle. He's got room in the open field. He gets 15 yards on first down across midfield for the Crusaders before Chris Cartier runs him out of bounds.
You think Christopherson's going to be tired after this game? The guy's a busy kid. He's running around. Great blocking, great patience by Christopherson, number 3 there, and following his lead blocker there. He did a nice job.
Chris Cartier is a big offensive threat on the other side of the ball for the Lakers. He's the one who ran him out of bounds. You'll see that at Division 7 and 8 especially. A lot of young men playing both sides of the ball, especially at the skill positions, if you will. Give his left side. This time Latami Scott finds the going a little bit tough. It's so far, the Lakers defense has been very good controlling Latami Scott. That's the guy, Keith, they knew they had to stop coming in.
Well, he's their playmaker. They got to contain him, and now you wonder, are they going to give more attention to Christopherson? This guy's been playing lights out already. But Latami Scott, tremendous athlete. You see him there. You can tell he has great balance. He's spinning off guys, bringing his hips, and these guys are doing a good job of swarming them.
So second and long. It's interesting, on the first drive, it was a long 11-play drive. We're making a 12-play drive before the field goal. Their head coach, Steve Sirwan, says, we don't have a lot of long drives generally. Martinez steps away from one tackler, but he's in trouble. And in the backfield, he is going to be brought down, still fighting to his credit. But he had absolutely nowhere to go as Isaac Oliver and Gabe Nichols converged for a loss of 2, setting up third and long.
A little bit of a botched snap there. You wonder on the jet sweep if that was meant for Latami Scott, but quarterback doing a nice job of just adapting there, trying to make a play, and the defense doing a good job of swarming them and bringing them down.
So third and long from just inside the 45-yard line of the Lakers. This field goal attempt on the first drive by Muskegon Catholic Central hit the upright, plenty of distance, but hit the left upright and fell straight down. This is the second possession of the day for Muskegon. Martinez gives to Latami Scott, and he's going to be stopped after a very short game. Impressive defense. And again, it's Nichols and Oliver after a gain of 4, stopping a young man who's averaged 11 yards per carry this year. And that brings on the punt team for Muskegon Catholic Central. Trenton Bordeaux is the punter, and he'll try to drop this inside the 20.
I don't think either of these teams are used to going at the end of the first quarter with a 0-0 tie here almost.
No, not at all.
That's what state championships are all about.
Chris Cartier has got some wheels. He's back deep, and he's going to let this one sail over his head and into the end zone, the automatic touchback. And Waterford will get ready to have the ball for the second time today. Defense is dominating early in the Division 8 state championship game.
The MHSAA The MHSAA football finals on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by the Michigan National Guard, proud to be the official armed services partner of the MHSAA. And by your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Happy Thanksgiving. Been a nice holiday weekend. Things have warmed up. The snow has melted away. Almost at 60 degrees here in the Detroit area yesterday. Hope that you are having a fine holiday weekend with friends and family. We're kicking off 2 full days of coverage of high school football. Championship games here at Ford Field. 4 games each day. The Division 8 championship game featuring Muskegon Catholic Central against Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes Lakers. On first down, not much there for Chris Cartier. We talked about how Latami Scott has an average carry of almost 11 yards. It's the same for Chris Cartier, almost 11 yards to carry, and look how quickly this hole closed.
Well, that D-line did a great job. Got a great push. Number 77, the big fella, getting in there quick. 15, did a nice job of stopping him.
Out of the shotgun, Scenarius had time for a moment, but now he's brought down in the backfield. Right up front, that's Adam Benoit. Got by his man, and he dropped Scenarius, who doesn't get brought down very often, for a loss of 7.
Well, did a great job getting around his block there. Clay Scenarius never saw him and never gave him a chance to get the ball out of his arm there. Way to bring down the quarterback. Big play.
Boy, nice swim move to get by the left tackle, Gabe Nichols. Setting up 3rd and long. And again, this is a team that is used to breaking long plays. You see the 4 wideouts. They've got a lot of weapons on the outside. Ryan Kostic, Devin Scenarius are 2 of the top targets. Again, long down the left sideline, and this one is caught by Chris Cartier. Out of the backfield, lined up as a wide receiver. A huge gain and a first down on 3rd and 17.
Well, let's look at the route here. It looks like a go route. Excuse me, a wheel route. Tremendous read by the quarterback and a great ball, great catch.
29-yard pickup. What good hands for Cartier. Now looking, he had a man on the slant cut. Ryan Kostic throw a little bit low. Kostic went down to try to get it. Kostic averaging 17 yards a catch. Chris Cartier, again, this is a guy who runs the ball a ton. He's averaging 17 yards a catch out of the backfield.
Waterford running a high-level offense here, spreading it out. You don't see that very common at the Division 8-7 level.
You really don't, do you?
Don't even see it commonly in the bigger levels. So it's more of a college-style offense. These guys are keeping them on our toes. I like what we're seeing. Play action.
Give up the middle to Isaac Oliver. Keith, they like to run a lot of jet motion and run rocket with motion. Just describe what that means for our viewers. Well, we'll get to that at the start of the second quarter. We counted down the end of the first quarter. Defense is dominating early in Division 8. We're scoreless after 8 minutes of play.
Powers from Muskegon Catholic Central. It's your first try to kick. Field goal from the 10-yard line. If the kick is good, they win a $50 Applebee gift card courtesy of Sparrow Health Systems. Start with Lindsay. You can win an Applebee gift card courtesy of Sparrow Health System. Are you ready, Lindsay? Here we go. Good luck. Very simple 20-yard field goal. Yes. Congratulations.
The St. Ignace football team did not make it to the state finals this year. The Crusaders beat them in the semifinals, but their spirit is here. Mitchell Snyder, a player for the St. Ignace team, tragically killed earlier this year, just an awful accident in September, and each team today is wearing a sticker honoring the memory of Mitchell Snyder, who was killed in that accident back in September. Both coaches talked about the importance of that sticker and the memory of a fine young man.
We talked to the kids about, what happened and just how precious every day above ground is. And, and it just, you do that. It happened in, mid-season, not knowing you might play them. So, it just happened that we played them last week, and one of their coaches went through the line and gave us maybe one sticker or two and said, make sure this, the 69 with Mitch's name on it, make sure this gets down to Ford Field.
They're a great football tradition up there, and it's just a tragedy, and we were more than happy to honor Mitch and his memory.
On first down, Scenarius throws to his twin brother Devin, and on third down, and he makes the catch. And a first down for the Lakers of Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes. Going back to Mitchell Snyder for a moment, it was amazing. After his very tragic death, the week after, they were playing a team. They had 54 points. The first team offense wanted to stay in to get to 69 points. The coach said no, but the backup scored 2 touchdowns, and when they had to go for a 2-point conversion, as Scenarius drops back to throw, looking deep down the left sideline, that ball is picked off by Latami Scott right at the 15-yard line. Oh, that's a fine defensive play by the fine defensive back and tailback Latami Scott. Chris Cartier was the intended receiver, and Latami Scott picked it off, kept his foot in bounds, and the Crusaders of Muskegon Catholic Central will have the ball at their own 15-yard line.
Well, they tried that wheel route out again out of the backfield, running into the flat and turning it up the sideline. You wonder if the defense had that one picked out. You saw the guy running a post, his other teammate running a post, and he was actually open because the safety kind of came over top there to make that pick there.
Full house backfield for the Crusaders on their third possession. Scoreless game early in the second quarter. The give is to Walker Christopherson, and he'll bowl his way forward for about 5 yards, quickly going back to St. Ignace. In that game, they finally got to 67 points, and everybody looked at the head coach, and he put the first team offense back in to go for a 2-point conversion to get to 69, and it was really remarkable. Just after that tragic death that they scored 69 points. And the memory of Mitchell Snyder certainly came flooding back that day, and it was a very special day for St. Ignace. But all of us thinking about the Snyder family and the St. Ignace football team and what a season they did have.
Showing a tremendous amount of character by both programs and coaches, and really cool to see the support that you're supporting your opponent's community.
Yep.
And it doesn't get any better than that. And you're teaching these young kids what life is truly all about. It's not about the football game all the time. It's about the bigger picture.
So that'll set up third now and about 3 as the Crusaders keep it on the ground as we expect. There was one opportunity thanks to the scramble of Christian Martinez for a long gain on an earlier drive, but he, after running about 50 yards back from the line of scrimmage, overthrew an open receiver down near the goal line. 3rd and 3, scoreless game, second quarter. Pitch is to the Tommy Scott, and he's got the first down across the 25-yard line, stepped out of bounds at the 26. Noah Roback is out there to run him out of bounds after a gain of 4, but that's enough for the first down.
The Muskegon Catholic Central had a ton of confidence in their athletes' abilities. They try to get them out in space. They believe that that's where they're going to win, is outside the tackles, it appears, as they have the big guy up front, number 57, as we talked about him, a 300-pounder, so they're trying to stay away from him a little bit, and the defense did a nice job of getting outside, but Latami Scott is going to give them some headaches throughout the day, and they got to contain him.
I got to believe if you're Josh Sawicki, the head coach for Waterford, that you're happy with what you're seeing from your defense right now, because they're really limiting the gains of Latami Scott and this offense.
There's no doubt they're keeping them on, really what we talked about, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, what they're not used to. That's what they're kind of containing them to today. So they want to limit those big plays. They really haven't had one yet, maybe one play over 10 yards so far. And so you got to count that as maybe a win so far for our Waterford Our Lady Lakes defense.
Yeah, if you're making them grind it out, that's not what they're used to. Not that they can't, because they've got so many weapons, but it's not what Muskegon Catholic Central is used to. gain of 3 for Walker Christofferson, setting up second and long.
But what they don't want to do is give up a big play or get lazy in the backfield, because they will come at you and they will try to throw the football down the field at times. You can't get lazy and complacent as a D-back, and you got to keep coming up and making plays, but you've got to stick to your keys, and that's exactly what they're doing so far.
Wow, look at them swarm to the ball there. Led by Brandon Heiss, and then Devin Cenarius comes up to help out, and they are absolutely getting to the ball. They're very quick to the ball so far, Keith. Every time they try to run wide, the Lakers defense is there.
Well, they don't second guess themselves. They see something, they go chase that football down. So the swarming, that's definitely a mindset and definitely coaching that these guys have instilled in this team. So doing a good job so far of just flying to the football, bringing contact, bringing their shoulder pads.
See if Muskegon tries a little different approach. They've got 4 wideouts on this third, and we'll call it 9, and movement up front. And that's going to pack up Muskegon another 5. Tommy Scott moved early. And this is not a team that's used to 3rd and 14s, and not an offense really built for that. You would think a little misdirection at some point. The way that this team is flying to the ball might work, Keith.
You got to imagine a play action
Ball start,
at some point.
Offense,
Then
5-yard penalty, third down.
You're going to try to make him pay at some point. And Tommy Scott must have saw something he liked too, because he got excited and tried to get off the football there pretty quick. It looked like he was going vertical. So they are going to attack him downfield at some point in the game here.
Christian Martinez does have a good arm. He just doesn't throw a lot, and they don't throw downfield a ton. 3rd and 14 for the Crusaders in a scoreless game in the Division 8 state championship game. Two teams used to breaking big plays. So far, both offenses have been kept under wraps. Scrambling Martinez, being chased, will step back, tries to create a little more space, finds it, goes deep downfield, has a man, but the ball tipped away at the last possible moment by Isaac Oliver. A man was open behind him, the ball just slightly underthrown. Pass intended for Walker Christofferson.
Defense doing a good job here, sticking to their man, sticking with their keys, sticking to their wideouts and their assignments. Thought they had a big play there. Number 3 slipped behind him. Number 24 making a big play on the football there. That might have been a touchdown if he doesn't. Great job by the defense.
Chris Cartier is deep for the Lakers. Trenton Bordeaux back on his 10-yard line to punt it away on 4th and long. Good punt, spiraling past the 50-yard line. Cartier on the fair catch. And it'll be good field position for the Lakers. Waterford when we come back. A 38-yard punt, scoreless in the Division 8 state championship game.
It's time for Level 1 Bank Football Finals Trivia. Your questions are from the board. Level 1 Bank, our passion is helping power yours. Visit level1bank.com to see what we're all about. And right now, the cheerleaders are tossing those 50 Level 1 t-shirts into the stands.
Scoreless, 4 minutes into the second quarter. That is the shot of the guy up front for Waterford is doing such a good job, Anthony Clark. But these long drives are wearing the big fella out a little bit. You can see that on the sideline. But this is a young man. It's rare to see a 300-pound nose guard in the Division 8 level, and his head coach, Josh Sawicki, says he can just take over a game. He said he can ruin things so much for an offensive line. We take him off the scout team because we don't get anything done if he's on the scout team during practice.
Big fella, probably enjoying that water on his head and relaxing a little bit. He's been on the field a ton, and they got to get him some rest because he's going to be critical for him moving forward into the next half.
And clearly he's already disrupting that offensive line of Muskegon Catholic Central. Chris Cartier on the carry. Very impressive what both defenses are doing so far. See if the team that throws the ball better, the Lakers, can get anything going through the air. But right now on the ground, the Crusaders are stopping just about everything that Waterford is trying to do.
Both these teams can light it up and put up points, so the fact that we're at a 0-0 game right now halfway through the second quarter is really impressive.
Scenarius finds a man across the 50-yard line. That's Chris Cartier, and a flag comes in late. Big gain on second down, and that may add to the 18-yard gain.
Well, Clay Scenarius and his wide receiver there having a ton of rhythm and chemistry there. Receiver turned around, running looked like a curl route, a lazy curl route, sat in the zone, moved the chains.
Face mask, defense, 5-yard penalty from the end of the run, results in a first down.
Well, nothing fancy there, was there, Keith?
Nothing at all, but a great read and great timing, great understanding.
Forearm to the helmet. Tacks on 5. So it makes it a gain overall of 23 yards. And the gain is to Cartier. The give is to Cartier. Big gain on first down. We'll see where they mark it, but he's got a first down inside the 25-yard line on Muskegon Catholic Central.
He's a playmaker for him. They want to get the ball in his hands. Nice timing and rhythm on the change-ups here. Watch all the movement and the motions. It can stall you and hesitate you as a defense, and that's exactly what they did. 20's Cartier making a nice cut, sticking his foot in the ground, getting north.
Logan Helton on the stop. The give is right up the middle, and there's not a whole lot going. Isaac Oliver gained over 500 yards, 5 yards a carry. Isaac Oliver on the carry that time. Just a couple of yards on first down, but they're down to the 20-yard line. A lot is put on the shoulders of Clay Scenarius, the quarterback of the Lakers. Got a lot of decisions to make. He gives it here to Cartier, and it's a fine play in the backfield as Brady Keefe slices through the offensive line, and a big loss on 2nd and 7.
We've been talking about Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes, their defense, how good they are, but Muskegon Catholic Central is stepping it up too, coming up, making plays, not thinking or hesitating on their keys, and a great tackle there in open field on a really good football player in Cartier.
A young man who averages 11 yards a touch when he carries the ball, and that time Brody Keefe was all over. So 3rd and long, they've got to get down to the 13-yard line for a first down. Scenarius making the read, changing the play at the line. Back to throw. Tosses quick, short right side. That's Isaac Oliver, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds shy of the 15-yard line. Nathan Jones comes over to knock him out of bounds. And we'll see what the Lakers elect to do on 4th and short. That's a good play, and again, it's Brody Keefe helping out on that tackle. The big hit to knock him out of bounds.
Well, they're bringing it today, right? Nothing left to play for. This is it. So these guys are bringing it all they have. And a nice stop there. See if they can get this field goal.
Devin Scenarius has only kicked 2 field goals all season long. He's 2 for 2. He's attempting a 35-yard kick to give his team the early lead. Snap is down, the kick is up, and it is wide to the left. Had the distance. That's a frustrated Devin Scenarius, but again, he hasn't attempted many field goals all season long.
Well, no, he hasn't, and he's playing both ways. So you got to imagine he's got a little fatigue as well. Looks like he hooked it there to the left. Maybe didn't get it clean there.
Yep, didn't get it quite clean. So 2 missed field goals in this game. It's as close as we have come to seeing points on the board. Midway through the second quarter, defenses are dominating in the Division 8 state championship game. First down for the Crusaders. Out of the shotgun, that's Christian Martinez, the senior quarterback. He's going to give to the Tommy Scott. Good jet run, and he's got some running room. Made a nice cut up, followed his blockers, and he's got a first down after a gain of 13 across the 30-yard line before Ryan Kostic brings him down.
Well, look at the crew he has out in front of him. Great patience, great kick-out blocks. About 4 blockers in front of him there. Hard not to be successful when you have great blocking like that.
Nice vision to follow those blocks, and he found the open field, and that's what the Crusaders are used to seeing from Tommy Scott. Big play after big play. It's Tommy Scott in motion. They're going to pitch it to him, this time going the opposite direction, and he's going to be hauled down in the backfield. He didn't make the tackle, but Anthony Clark blew up that offensive line to lead McLean Bertram to the ball.
Well, I think one of the things that both these teams are seeing is they cannot hesitate or think about what they're doing. They have to be instinctual and go to the football, because if they wait, that running back or that next man is up to the next level, and they're going to make you pay for it.
We have seen
a nice job stopping them there.
Really nice job. We've seen a lot of defensive plays in opposing backfields on both sides of the ball. So far today, 2nd and long for Muskegon Catholic Central, the 2-time defending state champions. Again, they'll bring Scott in motion, but Martinez will keep picking his way through the left side of the line. He'll pick up about 5 yards, and again, 3rd and long. The Lakers defense has been forcing the Crusaders into 3rd and long, 2nd and long throughout the day. Isaac Oliver on the stop after the gain of 5.
It's hard for fatigue not to set in here a little bit. A lot of these guys going both ways. Yep. It's really difficult at the end of the game. That's where conditioning and your mental toughness kind of comes in. Is, are you going to be the team that stops these guys on this situation, or are you going to be the one that lets them score big? So big 3rd down here.
3 wideouts to the near side for the Crusaders. Out of the shotgun, the senior quarterback Martinez will throw that bubble screen to the right, and oh man, almost picked off, but they absolutely read that play right from the beginning. Kurt Romkema was there, and he almost had the pick.
Well, that's where scouting and film room comes in. These guys knew exactly what was happening before it happened. They saw number 3 come back to the quarterback, and they all swarmed, ran by their blockers, and lucky they didn't come up with a turnover there. Muskegon Catholic Central could have been a bad situation for them.
Trenton Bordeaux again back to punt for the Crusaders. Chris Cartier is back deep for the Lakers. Scoreless game, 2 missed field goals with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Another good punt from Bordeaux. Cartier with the fair catch. And the good long punt drives Waterford back inside their 25, a 40-yard punt. Waterford has it when we come back. These two teams and these two head coaches are used to seeing a lot of points on the board. We're 4 minutes from halftime, and we are still looking for our first points on the board. That's Josh Sawicki on the left, Steve Zerwan on the right, both in their 3rd years. Steve Zerwan has won 2 state titles, and Josh Sawicki, who was on a state championship team with his Waterford Lakers back in 2002, is trying to coach his team to his first championship since. In motion, it looked like up front some movement, or will it be offsides? Adam Benoit.
Offense. Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
So 1st and long as they back up inside their 20. Keith, you're thinking that this offense is about to explode, or you got a good feeling about this drive for the Lakers?
Well, it's just a big moment in the football game. A lot of fatigue, and guys can lose a step if they're not careful. What they're going to try to do here is try to run down some clock, obviously, but I'm looking for a big play and a big play down the field, throwing the football. Clayson Arias, I think he's a guy that they have a lot of confidence in. Although he's had 2 interceptions so far, I wouldn't be surprised at all if they try to go deep again.
Chris Cartier, a short gain on 1st and 15, didn't quite get back to the original line of scrimmage. And they're going to go no huddle right here, try to hurry things up. But again, they've got a lot of threats both in the backfield and on the wideouts with Devin Cenarius and Ryan Kostic especially. But we've seen certainly out of the backfield, Chris Cartier can be a threat as well. Quick toss, right side, and man, the Crusaders are all over it. Devin Cenarius on the catch, and Brody Keefe up to snuff it.
Well, I think both teams have seen a lot of slot screens in their day. Both know how to attack it. Defenses, again, cannot get overly aggressive, though, because that's when a team will fake it on you and go deep. But a great job of swarming the football and a great read.
That's the bread and butter play for the Crusaders, but like you say, the Lakers are used to going deeper and can probably more effectively than the Crusaders.
Well, they're certainly used to it, but the coverage that Muskegon Catholic Central is showing today shows that they are definitely used to it.
2 interceptions already by 2 of their big backs, but Tommy Scott and Walker Christopherson both with interceptions. Whistle and a timeout for Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes. Josh Sawicki wants to talk things over before this big third down play. MHSAA.TV will have live streaming coverage of the post-game press conferences from this game. Plus, you can find highlights and archive of all of the weekend's championship games. Get bonus coverage of the football finals at MHSAA.TV. 8 games over the next 2 days. Josh Sawicki has passed along his advice. A lot of confidence in his quarterback, Clay Cenarius. Take a look at how both these teams got here. A lot of point scoring in the early rounds for Waterford. 96 points in the first 2 games, and then a 36-20 win. There were a lot of snow games in the semifinals. One of them was Waterford over Ottawa Lake Whiteford, and then Muskegon Catholic Central also scored a lot of points in the first 2 rounds, and then that was a heck of a game against St. Ignace. They did not have as much snow up north in Traverse City as we did down here in the Detroit area. But 2 impressive wins for both teams in the semifinals. Clay Cenarius throwing deep down the middle. Has a man and a first down past the 45. Across midfield for his twin brother, Devin Cenarius. Huge gain on 3rd and long. Walker Christopherson on the tackle. And
they did a
across
nice
midfield,
job.
the Lakers go.
You see Clay Cenarius running a nice rounded dig route there, about 15 yards, sets in the zone. Great read by his brother, looking him off to the left side, comes back to him on the right side, understanding exactly where he's going to be. Get up-tempo offense right now.
Hurry up offense, quick short drop throw, and a great catch at the 30 by Ryan Kostic, laying out on a beautifully thrown ball by Clay Cenarius.
Well, they're laying it all on the field today, aren't they, Dan? Man, they're going for everything.
Take a look at Kostic.
Kostic seeing the zone, sitting in it, and keeps his feet moving. Trusts his quarterback. The quarterback trusts him. Great chemistry there.
Mark the ball at the 32-yard line. The hurry-up offense. Cenarius gives, and it's a big hole up the middle for Cartier. He's got a first down inside the 20. The Lakers moving the ball.
Really liking the play calling right now. This defense doesn't know what's coming at them right now. And a great job of execution so far. Great patience by his running back right here.
Oh, look at that.
Sticks his foot and run a semi through that thing.
Kick out block by Liam Sutton, opening a huge hole for him. Sutton is senior guard. Cenarius looking at a little pressure ball, tipped up in the air and falls harmlessly to the turf. Jacob Holt got a big hand up to knock that ball down for the Crusaders. Crusaders lost 9 starters from last year's championship team. One of the 2 came back, Nate Jones, Jacob Holt.
Jacob Holt making a very nice play there on the football because he had a man over by the sideline to gain about 8 yards on a curl route. Probably would have had him if the big fella didn't get his hands up.
2nd and long, just inside the 20. Right side has a man. Whoa, big hit. As Isaac Oliver makes the catch, and Nathan Jones drilled him after a short gain, knocked him out of bounds. They say they landed inbounds, so the clock continues to run with 1.5 minutes to go. Each team still with 2 timeouts.
Well, it's a violent game. Number 15 brings his passes, lines him up. What I'm really liking is what Clay Cenarius is doing right now. It's really easy as a quarterback in this high level of a game to try to go for it and get the quick points. He's managing his team down the field right now, doing a good job.
Now he's going to throw deep down the middle, and the ball is knocked away, intended for Devin Scenarius. Christian Martinez, the quarterback, knocked that ball down. Kind of a jump ball just shy of the goal line. Boy, the pressure was coming.
Well, the pressure kept him on his heel, and that was probably the difference. You see the ball rising, and you see that very commonly when quarterbacks get a little pressure in their face and they're throwing off their back foot there. But great coverage.
Really terrific coverage. Another timeout by the Lakers. That's their second. We're just outside of a minute to go in a scoreless first half in the Division VIII State Championship game here at Ford Field. We'll join the conversation on the football finals this weekend. Share your photos on Instagram and Twitter with the hashtag MHSAAFB. Might see them on the broadcast or on FoxSportsDetroit.com. Make sure to follow us on Snapchat at FSDetroit all weekend long. Devin Scenarius has led this drive. Remember, the penalty actually backed them up inside their own 20 at their 18-yard line, so he has brought his team from his own 18 down to the 16-yard line of Muskegon Catholic Central, trying to get on the board before halftime. What would you think here, Keith? 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. I think that with the amount of playing that Devin Scenarius has had, maybe not a ton of confidence after missing the last field goal, you go for it, but I don't believe in going for all right now. Just try to get the first down. You're managing the clock. You got plenty of time. You don't need the touchdown right now.
4th and 7. Back to throw. Scenarius steps up, rolls right, throws into the end zone. Ball tipped in the air and out of bounds. Logan Helton with the tip. And a change of possession with just under a minute to go of a scoreless game in the first half.
We see the big push by the D-line right now. They understood how big of a moment this was in the game. They chased him down. And 3 guys around one receiver there. It's going to be tough regardless. Great job by the defense.
Well, I think both Logan Helton and Nathan Jones got a piece of that ball. Just to be sure, they both got a piece of it and knocked it away. Well, a good drive stalls. Best drive of the day for Waterford, Our Lady of the Lakes. Now let's see what Muskegon Catholic Central does. They get the full house backfield with a couple of tight ends. I'm hoping probably one of their guys can break a long run, and on first down, it's a gain of about 5 for Walker Christopherson. Again, this is not a team that's going to throw the ball a ton.
No, they're not. It looks like they're probably going to run the clock out here. I think when you look at both of these teams, Dan, very high-powered offenses. Coming out of the half, it's going to be who can kind of hold their composure coming out, not get frustrated with the lack of scoring, and who can stick to their keys and their man to be fundamentally sound.
Well, Tommy Scott spins out of one tackle. Man, he keeps the legs going. The ball flies up in the air, is picked up by Jones. What a strange end to that play, as Tommy Scott kept the legs going, and then as he was going to the ground, the ball popped out.
Not sure exactly what happened here. If it was a fumble, he's trying to pitch him back, or what happened here. Fighting for extra yardage. Looks like he threw it up for his teammate. That could have been very, very, very costly. I understand the young man's trying to make a big play, but you might need to hold on to that one next time.
And that will end the first half for the Division VIII State Championship game as defenses dominate here in the first half. Very impressive. 2 powerful offenses. Look at the defense for Muskegon Catholic Central, the Crusaders.
Well, the story of the day with the defense from Muskegon Catholic Central has been their athletes, I think, on the perimeter. These guys are flying around making plays on the ball. A lot of these guys going both ways, but Waterford, Our Lady of the Lakes, dominating in the interior, in my opinion. The linebackers are flying around. The big man up front, doing a good job. Got to keep him on the field, though. He's going to get tired.
Devin Scenarius has had a big first half defensively. We're joined by head coach for Muskegon Catholic Central, Steve Zerwan. And Steve, this is a heck of a defensive effort on both sides of the ball, but talk about the job your defense did against a very powerful offense.
Yeah, we've got some athletes out there, and they're trying to make plays. They're trying to get the ball to their kids outside, and again, their running game's been marginally successful. So we've done a decent job bottling them up, but there's a whole other half to play.
It looked like they've got a good read on that kind of the bubble screen, the wide receiver screen that you like to throw. You make some adjustments at half, or do you figure what's worked for you all year is going to work in the second half?
Oh, no question. There's some adjustments to make at halftime, and again, we got a couple playmakers ourselves, and we got to figure out ways to get them the ball and hope to crease them and break a few.
All right. Thank you very much, Coach.
Thank you, Dan.
Steve Zerwan, after we watched one heck of a half of defensive football. Aztec Eagles, terrific story locally, and we will be talking about them at halftime when we come back on Fox Sports Detroit.
Football is difficult enough for established programs, but for Detroit Caesar Chavez...
Doesn't Weiser's got what, 2 grandkids?
No, Josh has 15 of his own.
Put a crab in their hand or something. You might as well get him.
Who does? Weiser. Camera guy.
2, no, but you said he's got 2, but you said somebody else has.
Oh, his son. I thought Josh, his son.
Oh.
Had like 5.
All right, just be stick one here.
And Steve has a couple.
The MHSAA Football Finals on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Got it.
What's that, Iceman?
You should have someone with you.
Lead in for Cesar Chavez. Relatively new football program, close-knit community, led by unique people, including their quarterback, Matt Shepard, has a story on this upstart program. It's about 15. It's good 15 seconds. We're back at halftime of the Division 8 State Championship football game. Defense leading the way. It's not too often you'll see two high-powered offenses like this get stopped like we have seen in the first half as the defenses have been making play after play. 2 missed field goals, and that's why we are scoreless at halftime. Well, Detroit Caesar Chavez is a relatively new football program in the city of Detroit. It comes from a very close-knit community. It's led by unique people, including their starting quarterback. Our Matt Shepard has the story on how this upstart program was able to accomplish a goal through commitment to one another, and how now they're building something pretty special.
Football is difficult enough for established programs, but for Detroit's Cesar Chavez Academy, it's even more challenging because the program started from scratch just 6 years ago.
I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, honestly, but coming from the PSL and having coached probably 10 years previously, but I just wanted an opportunity to start something from the ground up. I think that was the most intriguing part about it.
Not until now have the Aztec Eagles been on the map, challenging for a spot in the MHSAA playoffs. Their quick ascent is due to a number of factors, like coaching and a family atmosphere.
The way we play as a family, it's irreplaceable, and I love it. I think of every one of these players as my brothers, and I would do anything for them.
What makes this program special to you?
Family and the connection with the school and also the football team. It just feels like a brotherhood.
But perhaps the biggest reason is because of the star by the name of Omar Salih. Salih grew up in Florida, but after moving to Michigan was discovered by Coach Tarif Kumasi in 2013.
I was at a Little League game and I saw Omar throwing on the sideline. And I was like, wow, this kid can really spin the ball. And we needed a quarterback at that time. I didn't approach him or anything. His dad actually, I had my shirt on, my Cesar Chavez, and he asked us about the program. I said, well, listen, we throw the ball every down 60 times a game. So he said, well, do you mind if we come check out the school? I said, I would love for you to come check out the school.
I never knew about any other schools in Michigan, and obviously it was my first year, so I gave it a shot with Coach K, and I loved it.
He throws the ball so perfect, and it just, I don't know, the way I catch it, it fits so perfect to my hand. He has the perfect reads where I can just catch the ball and take off.
When he's on, he's on. He doesn't miss a lot. You know, he's not gonna throw a ball 5 yards behind a guy or 5 yards ahead of a guy. I mean, he's gonna put the ball where it needs to be with timing.
Salih threw for over 3,200 yards and 24 touchdowns as a sophomore at Cesar Chavez, but then transferred to Detroit Cody. That experiment lasted just one season. Now he's back where he belongs.
The difference between Chavez and Cody, it wasn't a brotherhood. Hey, great job, Lion. Good job, Chris.
Salih is more than just a quarterback, though. He's a leader, and he takes that role seriously.
Good job out there, good job.
He's the only person in the program to this day, from the start of training camp in summertime to now, that has not missed a practice, a weight lift. So he's leading by example.
He's a leader on and off the field. Like, his academics is amazing. He leads us. Like, he's just an outstanding leader altogether. He preaches that a lot to the team, that although football is a big part of our lives, our academics comes before football, no matter what.
I always go over to drills with everyone. When nobody's there at practice, I get on them all the time. In school, I sometimes tutor my own teammate.
It's that focus that allows Salih to be so successful, and he eventually wants to combine the two things he loves most, sports and medicine.
My grandpa was also a sports doctor, and I used to hang out with him all the time. It just seems fun to me, and my favorite subject was biology, and I really had fun with it.
Salih and Cesar Chavez are expected to have fun with football well into November.
We've worked so hard that without making the playoffs, it just wouldn't be a complete season. We expect the best of this team.
Well, Chavez lost in the first round of the playoffs to Milan. Salih ended up throwing this year for 3,800 yards and 43 touchdowns. Not a bad senior season for Salih. Great story there from Matt Shepard. Defenses have led the way in the first half here. Here's just one of a few plays you're going to see. Defensive highlights from the first half coming up when we come back. Welcome back inside Ford Field. It's halftime. First of 8 high school championship football games, Division 8, 2 explosive offenses. We talked about it, but we also mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, Keith, that there's going to be some defense, and man, did we see it on display in the first half.
A lot of it. Obviously, we didn't have any points put up this half, so the two defenses doing a tremendous job already so far in containing the strengths of the offenses on the other side. You see Keith stepping up there to make a big play. The DB's going and high-pointing the football here, doing a tremendous job of containing the downfield play of Waterford there. And then you see Waterford stepping up, making tremendous plays and making great contact at the line of scrimmage, which is huge when you're containing these guys, because if they get to the linebackers, it is going to be trouble.
Devin Scenarios had a big first half. There were 2 missed field goals in this game. First from Muskegon, hits the left upright, plenty of distance. And then Devin Scenarios' attempt from a little closer in, 35 yards, hooked to the left. He was a little bit frustrated, didn't get the good rotation on the ball, but those are the only real 2 scoring opportunities. It was a good drive. You felt right before halftime that the Lakers were due for a good drive, and they did drive from their own 18 down inside the 20-yard line. What are you looking for in the second half?
Well, I'm looking for fundamental football. These guys cannot get frustrated. They have to keep their composure moving forward. If they do lose that, that's when big plays happen. They can't get excited that they haven't put up points yet, because I know both these guys can put up points. They got to stick with it.
Both these offenses average 35, 40 points a game. Halftime highlights were brought to you, as always, by Arby's. We're looking for some more defense in the second half, but perhaps some points as well. Scoreless at halftime. Scoreless at halftime of the Division 8 state championship game. Halftime stats. What stands out, Keith?
One thing I'm looking at is time of possession. You can see, obviously, Muskegon Catholic Central has held the ball the majority of the football game, and that's what you expect out of that style of offense. Then you have the other side, Our Lady of the Lakes, dominating here with 144 yards with offense, doing a really good job. And I would expect the same thing in the next half, but we'd like to see Our Lady of the Lakes contain the football here a little bit more.
Lakers know they can move it through the air, have not been able to on the ground. Both these teams know how to score points, but didn't in the first half. LaTommy Scott ready to break one. Scoreless at halftime.
Catch all the action of this weekend's football finals on Fox Sports Detroit. 7 of this weekend's games will be shown live on Fox Sports Detroit. And the Division 4 game on Friday will be streamed live on FoxSportsDetroit.com and Fox Sports Go for your handheld device. All of the games will be replayed Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Fox Sports Detroit, your official home for the MHA football and basketball championships. Nearly 2,000 of the state's students studying for the high school athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHA MHSAA Star Athlete Award. This is underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. Applicants will be looking for a total of $32,000.
Tremendous football game.
Applicants for this year are closed. Watch the MHSAA Elite for the announcement of applicants, finalists, and scholarship recipients in the weeks ahead. The Michigan State Police are committed to keeping children safe in our online world.
I'm gonna go down here. All right, guys, circle.
Some of the Crusader fans hoping to see a third consecutive state championship here today. Their team is scoreless at the half with the Lakers of Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes. And we got a chance to listen in on their head coach, Josh Sawicki, at halftime.
There's 24 minutes left in this season. You have played a tremendous football game to this point. Now we just got to go finish it. Don't sit around 10 years from now thinking I had 1 ounce of energy left in me. Give it all you got and focus. And here's the deal. We need to make a championship play or two. That's what these games come down to, 1 or 2 plays. Make them make a mistake. Put the pressure on them. Okay, but we got this.
Keith, that's what you were talking about. Sometimes the team gets worn down. That time of possession does stand out for Muskegon Catholic Central. The yardage wasn't there, but the time of possession, and you're thinking sometimes that can wear down the defense, and if that defense is tired, that's when the big play can happen.
Well, when you lose fundamentals, your composure, that's exactly, when you don't look at your assignment the whole time and execute on the fundamentals, that's exactly what will happen. This team will make you pay. They have the athletes, we've seen that already. So if these guys don't stick to their assignments, bad things will happen for them. But I love what the coach is saying there, that he has a ton of confidence in them. He thinks it's their football game. He's telling these kids he played tremendous. He's building their confidence. I love hearing that.
What do you remember at halftime of your state championship game? A win, by the way.
We had a win. We weren't playing at a high level or the level that we felt good about. We were, I think, tied going in, which we had never had before in that season. A lot of guys just looking at each other like, we got this. We're good.
And it was good for Lowell back in 2004, correct?
That was the case. Division III there.
Second half kickoff. Waterford will start with the ball. Gabe Nichols, the up man, gets the ball, and Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes. Now remember, they moved the ball in their last possession of the first half. The drive stalled inside the 20-yard line of Muskegon Catholic Central. You look at Clay Scenarius' numbers in the first half. 2 interceptions in the first quarter, but then I thought Keith did a much better job finding that open man after the 2 picks.
And you saw him get into a rhythm at the end of the half, and coaches, fans, everybody's probably hoping he can get back into a similar rhythm moving into this next drive, opening up the second half.
4 receivers out of the shotgun. Fake the handoff to the man in motion, and the give is up the middle to Isaac Oliver, and that's another big hit. Brody Keith has just been laying the lumber down all afternoon.
Oh, I love the point of contact.
I mean, when he delivers a hit, Keith, he doesn't mess around.
He's bringing the shoulder pads, and he's sacrificing the body. You love to see that. This kid brings the boom, and these running backs aren't getting anything easy.
All the yardage today, at least on the ground, has been tough to come by for both teams. Scenarius looks short left, and he's got a man. That's Isaac Oliver. Steps out of 1 tackle, makes a man miss, and gets all the way up to midfield. A gain of 21 yards on 2nd and long before Tommy Scott brings him down. So just the short toss, terrific run.
Really nice job by Clay Scenarius. It's easy in these games to get greedy and want to go downfield. And he probably had his man, but he did a nice job just dumping down the football. Let your athletes do the work. They'll do great things for you if you give them a chance.
Only 9 receptions this year for Isaac Oliver, but what stood out, 3 touchdowns on those 9 receptions, and he averaged over 30 yards a catch, and you can see why.
Well, when he gets it, he makes it count, doesn't he?
He sure does. Again, the fake to the man in motion, and this time Kurt Romkema carries the ball. Nothing there. No gain on first down for Romkema. 2nd down and long, but it really will be interesting to see how the Lakers build off that last drive of the first half.
Common theme in this football game is that if you want to stop these offenses, you got to get them right away. He did a nice job of coming around the end there, making a tackle in open field in the back there. Nice job by number 72, playing a good football game so far.
Adam Benoit. And then Jacob Holt dropped the hammer at the end. Quick toss. And drops by Josh Scare. in that left flat. That was a good, quick toss by Scenarius as the Crusaders brought the house.
Play Scenarius. Nice command of this offense. I really like what you see out of the kid. He keeps his composure, kind of ice cold in him a little bit, running through his veins. So he makes nice reads, catchable football there. I think it was the first time his teammate had touched the football so far this game.
Yeah, Josh Scare's first shot handling the ball. Couldn't handle it, so it's 3rd and long. Out of the shotgun, Clay Scenarius, the senior quarterback. Short toss right side and a rare miscue for him behind Isaac Oliver. And either miscommunication or he simply missed on that toss. But sometimes that's what you always have to remember. It can be miscommunication. The quarterback's thinking the receiver should have been somewhere else.
Well, I think he saw Brody Keefe out there a little bit, maybe trying to save his teammate from running into the flats and into another big collision, maybe trying to slow him up a little bit. And his teammate didn't feel that as much. So a big stop by Muskegon Catholic Central.
Walker Christofferson is deep at his own 20-yard line. Devin Scenarius, the punter for the Lakers. As again, we get a defensive stop to start the second half. Scoreless game in the Division 8 state championship game. End over end punt, but it's in the end going to be a good one because there's no chance at a return for Christofferson. They'll mark the ball right at the 20-yard line. MHSAA.TV will have live streaming coverage of the post-game press conference from this game. Plus, you're going to find highlights and archive of all the weekend's championship games. Get bonus coverage of the football finals at MHSAA.TV. Christian Martinez, only a couple of carries, 5 throws, 2 for 5. What really stood out, though, is that the Laker defense absolutely snuffed a very popular play for the Crusaders, and that's the little bubble screen. Logan Helton on the carry here. I've got to believe at halftime there's going to be an adjustment, as we heard Steve Zerwan say. There's always adjustments at halftime. What's the adjustment for a team that doesn't throw the ball a whole lot, likes to throw it short? That pass isn't there right now.
Well, if they have it in their arsenal, something I think would be really helpful for them is get the quarterback on the move. The interior part of the Waterford's defense is really strong. They do a nice job. Their linebackers are flying around. Little play-action bootleg. Get the athletic quarterback Martinez. Get him outside of the pocket. Let him make a play in open space, or let his receivers go downfield to make a play.
Got a couple split out wide right. Martinez will hand it off, though. And there's a big hole on the right side for Christofferson, and he's going to finally be run out of bounds, but not until he picks up a first down across the 30 at the 31-yard line. That was Cartier running him out of bounds after a gain of 8 and a first down for the Crusaders. Big hole on the right side.
Oh, nice read there. Nice bounce out. And a solid tackle in open field. And a really good football player in Christofferson.
Clark Johnson locking down that right side, the right tackle to open up that big hole. First down for Muskegon. He'll give his right side, and man, Logan Helton for a moment had a hole. And then the big fella, Anthony Clark, closed it.
When he gets his hands on you, you're not going anywhere much after that. But you're seeing it really quickly. If these guys get their hands on you, they make contact within a couple steps in the backfield here, you can contain them. Now, like Christofferson did in the play before, if you don't get your hands on it and get to the next level, it's going to be tough for you.
Second and long, Tommy Scott. Oh, man. Finding absolutely no running room on the left side. Gabe Nichols leading the charge of several Lakers game tackling Tommy Scott. Anthony Clark, we've talked about how he can cave in a line. This is a powerlifting champion in the state of Michigan. His coach says he cleaned 650 pounds. I can't even get my mind around that number. But this is not just a big, wide body. This is a very strong, and we saw how quick he can be in that space on the interior.
Well, the big guy has nimble feet, there's no doubt about it. He can move that 600 pounds lift there, so he's a powerful kid up front. And not a situation Muskegon Catholic Central wants to be in right now. Third and long.
Martinez, plenty of time to throw, going deep. He's got a man, and he just overthrew Walker Christofferson. That's a good arm from Martinez. He went deep. His man was open, and he overthrew him by just a yard or so.
A really good play call here. Looks like a wheel route by Christofferson. Nice pace by the wide receiver, trying to run onto the football. just let him a little bit. I wishes the young man had that back.
Credit to the offensive line for giving Martinez. He needed a lot of time to let that route develop, and he got it. Just couldn't quite make the connection with Christopherson.
Martinez showing some arm strength on the last play, too.
Cartier is deep, and this punt will bounce at the 30 and then down inside the 25. Whistle blows, and the Lakers of Waterford, Our Lady of the Lakes, once again back on offense in a scoreless game. Menards brings you the big money moment. This is 2004. Recognize this guy? He's standing right to my right. Lowell. Red arrows. And this is back in the 2005. This is a heck of a game.
Great football game. A lot of fun. It's some of the best memories of my life of playing in the state championship football game when I was a sophomore there. Amazing how time's moving now. Makes you feel like an old man.
No, you got time to go before you get there. But that was at the Silverdome, right?
Yeah, Silverdome. I think we're the last football game played there, and it'll be really fun. I'm going to stick around after the game to watch Lowell play King. It should be an awesome game with a ton of talent on the field. And man, like I said, it just doesn't get any better than this.
We are really excited about that matchup in Division II, Lowell against Detroit Martin Luther King. And those are two really talented teams, and you would think we're going to see some points this afternoon, but we thought that with this game.
Yeah, you never know in these games.
Scoreless. Almost 5 minutes into the second half. A little miscommunication, one of the rare times today. And Devin Scenarius not on the same page with Chris Cartier.
Looks like he might have bobbled the snap there a little bit. And these timing offenses, if you miss a step, make a mistake, it's
fatal.
It's all over from there. Yeah, right.
So a loss of 3 on the play, setting up second and long for the Lakers, trying to win their first state championship since 2002. Muskegon Catholic Central trying to win their 3rd straight. Fake right. Now it does indeed go right. And that's going to be Chris Cartier. Pretty good pickup on second and long to set up 3rd and certainly a more makeable 5. Nathan Jones pushes him out of bounds.
Well, I like him getting his athletes out in space. Let one of the best players make something happen there. And again, swarming defense. Nothing's easy in this football game.
Brody Kieft was there a rare time when he didn't make the stop. But that's going to happen when you've got some talented players on both sides of the ball. And as you said, Chris Cartier can make people miss and make big plays.
So you constantly bring your feet in your shoulder pads every play.
3rd and long 4. Scenarius on the keeper, does not have any running room. Fake the handoff, but then Adam Benoit and Andrew Schulte converged on the tackle. You know, for a moment it looked like it was there.
Yeah, I thought he had a step there. We're not sure if that was a read or a design keep, but a good job of, again, fundamental, sticking with your assignment, staying home, doing a good job on defense on both sides so far.
Really disciplined. Adam Benoit, that was a terrific play because it looked like there was some space, and he broke from his block and got there quickly. Defensive tackle for the Crusaders. Scenarius, boy, waited a moment and almost a block by Benoit. Fair catch called for just outside the 30-yard line, and Muskegon Catholic Central will take over in a scoreless game. The Broadcast of this game is a copyrighted presentation of the Michigan High School Athletic Association and Fox Sports Detroit. No reproduction, retransmission, or other distribution of the descriptions or accounts of this game may take place without the express written consent of the MHSAA and Fox Sports Detroit. Christian Martinez, member on the last drive, showed off that good arm, a deep throw, and you would think we're going to see at least a little more variety in the passing game if they elect to go to the air a little bit more. But Tommy Scott, fake to him, Martinez will keep, makes one nice move, cuts it back inside, but that's where the Laker defenders are, and about half a dozen bring him down after a gain of 5 yards. McLean, Bertram, Anthony Clark, Gabe Nickel all converging on the tackle. For a moment, there was some space.
Yeah, you wonder if there could have been a little bit more production if he would have stuck his foot in the ground, just gone north there a little bit.
Yeah.
Instinctual, great athlete, so he'd like to get it outside. And I think one piece that we're missing here a little bit, too, is how good special teams has been all game. The punting game has put these guys in tremendous field position and kept their teams alive.
Out of the shotgun. That's Tommy Scott in motion. Again, the fake and the keep by Martinez. Interesting, Martinez has kept it on back-to-back carries. Mateos Medini makes the stop, setting up 3rd and short. But they have not been able to get to the edge, and you know that that's been a strength for them, breaking all the runs that they have broken this year. They've just not been able to do that with any kind of consistency here today.
Well, we talk about what changes are these teams going to make, and there's a difference between making a change and getting away from your identity. So the coach is trying to find some little areas they can take advantage of, and you wonder what changes they made in the locker room.
So the full house backfield on 3rd and 3. The give right side following his blocker as Walker Christofferson had a big hole. Jacob Schulte leading the way, and Christofferson gets the first down.
Christofferson had a nice pull by the guard there. Number 66 making a nice block. Kept his feet there. He might still be running.
I was going to say.
We don't know.
Schulte was ready to lead him right down the field, wasn't he?
I think 66 wanted to join him in the end zone there.
Christofferson and Tommy Scott have handled the load for the most part. Don't forget about Logan Helton. He's been quiet, but he can also break a big run. He's in the backfield with them. Christofferson makes one man miss, steps across the 45-yard line. Medini brings him down after a gain of 4 yards.
Christofferson doing a nice job of breaking an arm tackle here. Looks like he's stopping the backfield. Nice job keeping his pads square. Moving forward.
As you look at Medini, who made the stop there. One of the backup defensive linemen. They'll rotate some of the linemen in and out to try to keep them fresh. 2nd down and 7. Give up the middle and nothing. Absolutely nothing. The ball is loose. Let's see. Was he down? Waiting for the official, and we're going to talk it over. McLean Bertram on the fumble from Walker Christofferson. And the officials will have to decide.
The refs here don't have the advantage of replay like college and the pros do.
Bertram came in, made the tackle, and they say that he was down. It looked like he might have wrapped him up and took the ball away at the same time. And he did. That's not an easy call, I'll tell you that.
No, there's no way I think the refs could have made that call.
Yeah. His knee was on the ground. I think that's a very difficult call.
But,
even though I know Bertram's not happy.
No, they got to stick with it, keep doing what they're doing. Don't get frustrated by that.
3rd and long. Christofferson running wide, and look at the defense for the Lakers.
Wow.
Isaac Oliver leading the charge in the backfield as once again the Lakers prevent the Crusaders from doing anything wide.
The development of the play, it looks like it's going to be actually a big play with Christofferson coming around, but can't speak enough about the fundamentals of coaching that these guys have done with these players. These guys are staying home. They're not getting sucked in. They're not getting lazy. Their eyes and their mind is strong. They're making plays on the football. Kudos to them.
Isaac Oliver beat the block of Savion Thompson, and that's why he was able to make the play in the backfield. Trenton Bordeaux on the punt. He's had a good day punting. And again, it'll be Cartier deep to make the fair catch. looking for that big play. Defenses continue to dominate late in the third quarter.
They got 3 horses back there. We have to pursue relentlessly, tackle today, and just play assignment football. You know, when they make those 8-9 gaps for you, you really have to get your hat in there and do your job on defense. They got 3 horses back there. We have to pursue relentlessly, tackle today, and just play assignment football. You know, when they make those 8-9 gaps for you, you really have to get your hat in there and do your job on defense.
Something we talked about right at the top of this telecast, and it has come true that this defense has been a big part of the game. It's amazing how consistent they were. Those are 2 of the big guys leading this Lakers defense. That's Anthony Clark along with Mateos Medini. 9 times allowing 10 points or fewer this year for the Lakers. Muskegon's defense hasn't been too bad either.
Oh, they've been great.
Chris Cartier carries for very little as Jacob Holt and Nathan Jones lead the way, 2 seniors on this defense that really had to be rebuilt. And Steve Zerwan very impressed with how, after giving up 45 points in week 1, he said it was just kind of an eye-opener. We knew how far we had to get after that first game. Now, that was Muskegon Oak Ridge. That was a very good team. But he knew that this defense would take some time to gel, and man, as the season has gone along, it certainly has done that. Scenarius right side has his brother Devin for a nice gain on 2nd and long. Brady Keeft over to make the stop after a gain of 8.
Devin Scenarius sitting in the zone there, running a nice little hitch route. Solid fundamental football, catching the football, moving forward.
And then Brody Keefe says, oh good, I get to make another tackle. He has been all over the place, and he likes to hit quite clearly. 3rd and short. Out of the shotgun. Flanked with backs on either side, and movement in the backfield. That is going to cost the Lakers 5.
Dead ball. Ball start. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Hunter Hilton was in the backfield for the first time today. Boy, you make that move, you think, I hope nobody sees me. Please, nobody see me. But
you're hoping you roll through your toes there and they snap the ball. But that's a painful penalty for Waterford here. They had what they wanted on 3rd and short.
Sure did. So now different formation, 4 wideouts, 3 to the near side. Scenarius with time, going deep down the middle on the right side, and again a pickoff. Intercepted by Christian Martinez, the 3rd pick of the day for the Crusaders, and they'll get the ball back in their own territory. 3 of the key backs for Muskegon Catholic Central, all with interceptions today.
Devin Scenarius running a post route there. I think brother led him a little bit upfield. Gave the DB a chance to go up and get the football. High pointed it really nice. And again, pressure by number 72. This guy hasn't had a chance to throw a clean football all day when it comes to going deep.
Couldn't be more impressed with Adam Benoit.
No, he's done a great job all day. And you see the signs. He's a popular kid at high school apparently too.
So again, a long interception. All 3 have been long passes. Kind of acts like a punt, but another turnover. There's Anthony Clark absolutely stuffing Logan Helton. And I mean stuffing for absolutely nothing on 1st down.
Give Clark some fresh legs. Get his lungs back. He's going to make a play.
Boy, he just dispatches Jacob Holt.
He is
Wrapped up with McLean Bertram.
Cover some space, doesn't he?
He sure does. Bertram, Medini, Clark in the picture there. Second and long, and this has been kind of the day for both teams. A lot of second and longs, especially for Muskegon. Facing pressure from Clark. Martinez will roll right. Stop. Look, he's got a man and a completion near the 50-yard line. Logan help on the receiving end. That's a good job by Christian Martinez. You said if he moves his feet, maybe they can create something, and he did there.
Well, he's got that it factor, that playmaker factor, and anytime he can get out of the pocket and make something happen, you can tell he's looking for Christofferson downfield, had his eyes down him the whole time. Did a nice job of coming back, finding an open wide receiver, making a really good throw, and some tight defense.
Sure was.
Bang, bang, so really good job there.
Counting down to the end of the third quarter. Two offenses, one averaging 36 points, one averaging 42 points, and they have been held off the board for 3 quarters here today. 12 minutes left in the Division 8 state championship game. Fine defense on both sides. Another interception. Muskegon Catholic is driving.
Commitment. It should have started at the end of last season. Please, you have to believe in your players, then they will believe in you. You too can create a masterpiece. Let the big dogs eat. Fox Sports Detroit. You need commitment. It should have started at the end of last season. Please, you have to believe in your players, then they will believe in you. You too can create a masterpiece. Let the big dogs eat. Fox Sports Detroit.
We're down to the final 12 minutes of the Division 8 state championship game. There's Josh Zawicki. He knows what it's like to win a championship as a player for this Waterford team back in 2002. Now he's trying to, in his third year, lead his team to his first state championship since 2002. 3 interceptions have played big in this game. Muskegon Catholic Central near midfield after a fine play by Christian Martinez using his legs to create some space in a 12-yard completion. Give and again, the Lakers make sure that Latami Scott has nowhere to go. Latami Scott averaging about 4 yards a carry in this game. He's used to gaining better than 10 yards a carry during the regular season and the playoffs.
Boy, well, they are doing a good job of containing him.
That's Mateos Medini. We've been calling his name a lot today. He just went right through that line. He is a senior, and he's a big guy. 6'3", 275 pounds. They've got some size on that front line defensively. Waterford does. Second and long. Again, Tommy Scott this time has a little bit of running room, but quickly the Lakers close it down after a gain of 6. Ryan Kostic and Chris Cartier on the stop for the Lakers.
Nice pulling guard right there. Cleaning it up for him. Again, those are good chunks. That's a win on that play. Get a nice chunk of 7 yards. Third and short, exactly what they're used to and what they want.
Left side of that line led by Chase Simpson, really opening up a little bit of running room that time for Scott. 4 wideouts, that's Christopherson in motion. Martinez will fake it to him, run left side, and he's got the first down and more, and just could not stay in bounds, but he stayed in bounds inside the 35, a big gain on 3rd and 5. 14 yards for Christian Martinez, and we have an injured player down on the field, but a terrific decision by Martinez.
Martinez looking like they designed to go up the right side, right behind guard in between tackle there. Had some instincts, bounced to the left side. Young fella keeps his toes in, he might be in.
Isaac Oliver is down on the field for the Lakers. They're working on him, and it looks like one of those cramps that will occur from time to time.
Yeah. Playing outside most of the time here, you're in a little bit more of a warm environment, be a little bit more humid.
Yep.
A lot of these kids are playing both ways. Fatigue.
This is what the rest of the day shapes up for. What it looks like here on Fox Sports Detroit. King against Lowell. We're really looking forward to that Division II matchup. Clinton against Ithaca. Traditional power in Division 6. And then we'll wrap up the day with Flint Powers Catholic against Zeeland West, who's become a power on the west side of the state. Everything live on Fox Sports Go as well. So Oliver off the field, still stretching out what looked like a cramp, but it's good to see him pop up and at least get off the field under his own power. Hopefully for him that cramp works itself out. First down after the big gain by Martinez on 3rd down. Christopherson breaks out of one tackle. In the open field on the right side. One man to beat. He'll be spun out of bounds, but inside the 10, Chris Cartier was the last line of defense for the Lakers. One of the biggest gains of the day. 24 yards for Christopherson.
Christopherson must have some tremendous stamina and conditioning, because this guy doesn't seem to get tired. He actually looks like he's getting stronger as the game goes on.
Really
making plays on both sides and breaking a tackle right off the bat with his legs and off to the races.
That was Devin Cenarius in the backfield again. That was the tackle he broke. Cenarius has had a terrific day for the Lakers. So the deepest penetration of the day for Muskegon Catholic Central, trying to make it 3 straight Division 8 titles. Martinez on the keeper, has blockers, has room, cuts it inside, touchdown! Crusaders take the lead. Great blocking downfield, and Muskegon Catholic Central is on the board first.
Great blocking, great patience by the quarterback. Love the way he set up his blocks there. Then punching it in at the end. Oh, bootleg, following his running back, pulling guard, tackles, getting the convoy up front, setting him up, sticking his foot in the ground, going for it. Nice job, nice play call.
Pulling guard was Jacob Holt. What a job he did. And you're right, patience by Martinez. Extra point is up, and it is good. Jose Zambrano adds the extra point. After 3 quarters of scoreless football, the Crusaders of Muskegon Catholic Central have the 7-0 lead in the 4th. Let's take a look at that fine blocking and touchdown play, the first of the day for Muskegon Catholic Central.
Well, a really nice play call. You're going to see number 77 here pull around and lead his quarterback in. A nice fake here, number 20 as well. Then you can see the quarterback bootleg around and follow his blockers all the way into the end zone. Nice job, nice play call, getting his athletes outside of the box here.
And you're right, Martinez, with the patience, letting his blockers do their job and then the cut. It took more than 3 quarters plus a minute and 40 seconds before our first score of the day. Christian Martinez had 2 big runs on that drive.
I don't think anybody expected any of that. Thought it'd be a couple more points here today, but a really well-fought football game, well-coached football game, both sides. And we'll see how Waterford responds here.
His head coach, Steve Zerwan, said that he really is that other threat in the backfield. He doesn't carry it as much as the other 3 we highlighted in the open. There's a low line drive kicked up midfield by one of the up men. That's Nate Jones. Across the 25 to the 30-yard line. And that's where the Lakers will start. This is what we were looking at coming into the game. 2 teams with explosive offenses. The Lakers had scored 47 points or more 5 times this year, and they have been shut out. Talked about their defense, Muskegon Catholic Central's defense, and again, this is a defense that kind of grew through the season, had allowed 18 points a game, but got better as the season went on. They've been terrific today. And Cartier tries to break the tackle, but hanging on for dear life. Looked like Adam Benoit, Logan Helton.
Waterford's got to have a little anxiety here. Nice throw, nice catch.
Quick toss right side, Ryan Kostic. He's a big threat, but he's been pretty quiet today. Setting up 3rd and short, 9.5 to go. And it looks like they're going to go with a no-huddle offense right now. This worked at the end of the first half when the clock was winding down. It put some pressure on that Crusaders defense. Cenarius, you can see the numbers. Not bad numbers overall, but the 3 interceptions, and again, all 3 were on long throws. Martinez intercepted the last one, and then he completed the drive after the interception with a touchdown. Up the middle on 3rd and short, not much there. Jacob Holt absolutely stuffs Isaac Oliver, setting up 4th and 1.
Kind of been the story of the day. There's really been nothing going in the middle of the field here, in between the hashes. All plays have been made outside. Trying to dial it up and punch it in, and big fella making a nice stop.
Holt makes the big block on the touchdown run, and now the big stop on 3rd and short. And here we go. Lakers will go for it on 4th and 1. Split 4 wide. Keeper for Cenarius, and a really nice push up front.
Great surge by the O-line. Cenarius just riding their back for the first down. And what a gutsy call, right? I mean, they don't get this. They put that powerful O-line and offense of Catholic Central over here in good territory to make a play, so gutsy call. Like it.
Now Cenarius is looking short left. He ends up throwing short left. This will be just a few yards. Josh Scare on the reception. Lakers like to go downfield, but the 3 interceptions, you would think Keith probably made him, if not gun shy. They're certainly looking shorter now. The routes are getting shorter because of what the Crusaders have done defensively.
Well, all success they've had so far has certainly been underneath in that 15 and below parameter there. So look to see them keep dumping the football off, make chunks here, but don't go for it all.
Cenarius on the slant cut, almost intercepted, and instead caught by Ryan Kostic. After the near interception, was that Keeft again? No, that was Nathan Jones. Almost picked it off, and it deflects right to the hands of Kostic.
I think Keeft was probably looking for a big hit there instead, right?
Oh my
But hey,
goodness.
the tremendous jump on the ball. Had the slant. Could have held the ball a little bit longer, get out of your hands a little bit quicker. Big play there.
Would not have been an easy interception, but it would have been 6.
No, yeah.
Still brings up 3rd down even after the mini miracle catch. Fake to the man in motion. The give is to Isaac Oliver, and he is shy of the first down marker. Brock Johnson on the tackle. So again, if they went for it on 4th down once in their own territory, you would think they'll go for it again here, and they will at midfield, counting down almost to the midway point of the 4th quarter. Our first score of the day, Muskegon Catholic Central scoring on a touchdown run from Christian Martinez, their quarterback. Defenses have dominated the day in our first of 8 high school state championship games. 4th and 1. 4 wideouts for Scenarios. 4th and 1. Just a few plays ago, he followed the left side of his line, and here he wants to talk things over with his head coach, Josh Sawicki. Big play, and he's not going to take any chances. Interesting formations. Last time they spread it out, 4 wideouts. There are only 3 down linemen for the Crusaders.
Yeah, they're. I'm really impressed by the coaching from both sides. These guys are not getting away from their identity. They keep sticking to the game plan, and they realize that this is going to be a close game going in. Probably not overly excited about the lack of scoring here today, but again, a big moment. Really smart move and taking the timeout. You don't like what you see. Be patient. Bring the guys together and let them know the importance of this play.
Talked about how Muskegon got here, but what's really impressive, again, a Division 8 team does not play anybody in Division 8 during the regular season. Look at that schedule for Muskegon Catholic Central, Division 3 team in Fruitport. Started the year with Muskegon Oak Ridge, that lost a Division 5 team, but all the teams, basically Division 5 or higher, that one Division 6 team before the playoffs. You talk about getting battle tested through the course of a regular season. That's impressive.
It's impressive, and look at the record is impressive. To go through that gauntlet of a schedule of teams that are maybe twice your school size you're playing against.
4th and 1. Scenarios under center. 3 men up front for Muskegon Catholic Central. And now they'll go to the gun. Throwing on 4th and 1. Has a man caught by his brother Scenarius. Devin Scenarius from Clay Scenarius. Terrific catch, a gain of 11 and a first down.
What a play call. I'm not sure what they didn't see there up front. Only 3 defensive linemen. They choose to throw it. Senior quarterback to a senior wide receiver. Gotta love that. Great catch, great throw.
Josh Sawicki says these twins have that unspoken communication. All good quarterback receiver combinations do, but maybe on a little higher level as twins.
They might have been born with that connection, right?
First down inside the 40. Has time, quick toss right side. Has a man, and that man, Chris Cartier, has some running room. Cartier pushed out of bounds, shy of the 30-yard line. That's a big play guy who's been held in check very impressively by Muskegon Catholic Central here today. Inside 6 minutes to go. 7-0 Muskegon Catholic Central. The Lakers trying to drive for a tying score. Up the middle, Isaac Oliver, very little there. He's right at the first down marker. Right now the official has him marked just about a yard shy.
Brock Johnson doing a good job today. Haven't talked enough about him. Clogging it up, big fella too, 6'3", 275.
Holt, Johnson, Benoit, Jacob Martinez across that front line. Brody Keefe has had a big day from the linebacking crew. A keeper on the left side, and again Scenarius just follows Liam Sutton, Mario Roque, Gabe Nichols on the left side for a first down inside the 25. Outside the 25 at the 26-yard line, they'll go no huddle. In the first half, Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes got down to the 15-yard line. That's been their deepest penetration of the day. Little counter, right side, and man, the Crusaders are all over Chris Cartier after a very short gain on first down. Couldn't be more impressed with this group up front for the Crusaders.
Oh, they're doing a great job. You see 5 guys in the football there, 4 guys making a really sound tackle. They're not getting away from their fundamentals. They're doing a nice job.
Jones played off the block very nicely that time. Quick toss, right side, and Devin Scenarius has it. down to the 15-yard line. Boy, he had to squeeze that ball in. Christian Martinez was on the coverage along with Brody Keith.
Nice quick read here, understanding when his receivers can come out of his break. And a driven individual.
Martinez, when his teammate Brody Keith came in, looked like he got hit and took a hit. Left arm, a stinger, it looks like, and he's going to stay in, but his left arm right now, I'm not sure he's feeling a whole lot from the elbow down. Isaac Oliver, short carry on first down inside the 15-yard line. The Lakers are down 7. Andrew Schulte on the tackle for Muskegon.
If I had to guess, Martinez has a stinger right now on his left side. Blues do not feel good.
So if you were the Lakers and you saw that, would you go after him right now?
I think you do, but you also got Christopherson back there. I understand he's got to maybe help his teammate out a little bit, and he's been making plays the entire game on defense. So I think you don't attack him, but you certainly know.
And look at Keith out there helping him right now. Scenarios looking left, under pressure will roll right, looking into the end zone, throws in. Is it intercepted? It is intercepted by Walker Christopherson. The 4th interception of the day for Muskegon Catholic Central.
You thought you had him there. Christopherson jumping in front of the wide receiver there to make a tremendous interception. These two teams playing their hearts out right now. Thought we had a touchdown there. Martinez goes in with a hit.
You had just mentioned that he was the good help. It had a big day, and that's a heck of an interception by Walker Christopherson, his 2nd of the day, thrown slightly behind the intended receiver, Chris Cartier.
He's going to take tremendous throw and catch to get by Christopherson on that one. Just a little bit behind him. Those are tough throws. You know, guy, you can get hit. Scenarios wishing he had that one back.
So the Lakers will rely on their defense one more time. We've got 2 timeouts left, just under 3.5 minutes left in the game. On first down, just a little bit as Walker Christopherson, who just had the pickoff, tiptoes his way for about 3 yards. You know right now what Catholic Central is going to do. They're just going to run the ball, try to burn some clock. It's an understatement to see the Lakers say the Lakers need a stop right here. I would say they can afford maybe 1 first down, but that's it. But ideally, they get a stop here if they want to get the ball back and tie this game up. Full house backfield. Very smart as Martinez takes his time, running as much clock as possible. Christopherson again. What a workhorse he's been, and what a day he's had. Anthony Clark brings him down after a gain of 2, and now the Lakers will use their 2nd timeout.
Think Christopherson's going to sleep well tonight?
And Clark, maybe? We will take a break, counting down the last 2.5 minutes of the Division 8 championship game. 7-0 Muskegon Catholic Central. West side of the state has been well represented by schools from Muskegon in the state championship game over the last 11 years. Look at those titles. That's 10 titles total, and 4 from Muskegon Catholic Central. The Muskegon Big Reds, of course, a traditional power. Also Muskegon Oak Ridge and Muskegon Orchard View. And Muskegon Catholic Central is looking for one more, their 5th in the last 11 years. And 3rd straight, that's what they're gunning for today. The Lakers of Waterford, Our Lady of the Lakes, almost certainly need to stop right here to have a chance at a tying score. Keeper Martinez makes a move, has the first down. He almost backed up out of it, but then he stays on his feet, stayed in bounds. Savion Thompson throwing a nice block on the wing, and that's a huge first down for Muskegon Catholic Central.
Well, Headsy play call there, almost identical to the play they scored a touchdown on. Gets a nice chunk of yards, stayed in bounds, did all the right things. Headsy, senior captain quarterback there. Looks like he has a really good chance to lead his team to a win this afternoon.
With one timeout left, at best, you would think the Lakers get the ball back with just a few seconds unless they can force a turnover. Christopherson right side, a little bit of room and a gain of about 4 on first down. Nichols and Ramkama make the stop. And this will be the final timeout. The Lakers will take their final timeout right here.
As powerful as these offenses are, they have really been gritty today.
You don't see too many defensive battles like this, and really, you're right, you do appreciate the work that we have seen defensively all throughout the afternoon on both sides of the ball. Well, you can join the conversation on the football finals this weekend by sharing your photos on Instagram and Twitter with the hashtag MHSAAFB. And you can see them on the broadcast or on FoxSportsDetroit.com. Make sure you follow us on Snapchat at FS Detroit all weekend long. First of 8 games on Fox Sports Detroit. Division 2 Lowell against Detroit. Martin Luther King is coming up next. A 1 o'clock kickoff for the Division 2 state championship game. Muskegon Catholic Central is 2 minutes away from a 3rd consecutive state championship game, or state championship title. They've won each of the last 2 years. They've got a 7-0 lead, and the Lakers cannot stop the clock unless there is an incomplete pass, which I really don't think we're going to see, or a turnover.
Yeah, they're in control of their own destiny here now. Just can't make a fatal mistake.
Martinez under center, will hand it off. Christopherson has some room into the open field. He'll be brought down. Not until he gets to the 35-yard line by Isaac Oliver. A gain of 30 yards and a clinching run for Muskegon Catholic Central.
Well, they gave it to their reliable playmaker there when it mattered. And I don't know what kind of conditioning this kid's been doing in the offseason, but he doesn't seem to get tired. He's been doing a great job in breaking arm tackles there. Fatigue didn't set in for him, and just
not
a tremendous ball game by that young man.
2 interceptions and a heavy workload on the ground. And now Martinez will take a knee, and he should be able to take 2 more to wrap this game up. It's been a heck of a year for both of these teams. Lakers did not lose a game this year.
What a tremendous football game by both teams. Well-coached football teams. They fought their behinds off today, and
sure did.
Nothing to hang their hats on if you're Waterford at all. Played tremendous football today. Came down to about 1 play, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Just like their coach said, but an awesome football season for those guys.
Josh Sawicki is, you've got to believe, going to be back here again someday. He's 28 years old. He's done a heck of a job with this Waterford Our Lady of the Lakes program. Steve Zerwan, the head coach for Muskegon, is in his 3rd year, and he's about to make it 3 for 3. 3 years as head coach and 3 state titles.
It's impressive and almost unheard of to win 3 in a row like that.
5-yard penalty, delay of game.
So delay of the game as they ran the clock, and they might have to snap it one more time after this, but they're just running as much clock as possible on each play. Martinez again under center. Senior quarterback again will take a knee. He's had a great day. Interception, the third of the day at the time, led to the drive that followed, and he capped off that scoring drive, the only one of the day, with a touchdown run. Will they call timeout one more time to save it, or will they be able to run it out? Looks like they'll be able to run it out and let the celebration begin here at Ford Field. The Muskegon Catholic Central Crusaders have won their third straight state title.
Congratulations to both teams. An awesome football season, a well-played football game, a clean football game. Kids showed a lot of sportsmanship, and you can tell that their communities have structured these guys to be just tremendous human beings. It's something they will remember for the rest of their life.
Handshake at midfield, terrific defensive effort on both sides of the ball. And congratulations to the Crusaders of Muskegon Catholic Central on a third consecutive state title.
Good game, great game. Hey, great game, Robert. Great game. Great game. Great game.
The MHSAA Football Finals on Fox Sports Detroit are brought to you by Arby's. Try the new A1 Special Reserve Steak Sandwich today.
The plays of the game are brought to you by Toyota. As we take a look at the disappointment on one side, the Lakers' Devin Snyder had a heck of a game, but the defense of the Crusaders stood out today. Interceptions from Walker Christopherson, Latommy Scott. And then the big interception late in the game on the drive, another interception by Walker Christopherson, taking the ball away from Chris Cartier. As it looked like the Lakers were driving for what could have been a tying score. Walker Christopherson had a heck of a day, and Keith, this is a fun game to watch. I mean, it's not too often defenses dominate like we saw here today. Two teams that really played very good football all throughout the afternoon.
I was extremely impressed by the coaching from both sides and the toughness from both sides. You see the emotion on one end where the loss was there, the other side victorious, but both teams have a lot to be proud of. No reason to hang your head today if you're Waterford. They had a tremendous season. They played a very good football team, and it came down to the wire like maybe we didn't expect.
They were trying to win their first state championship since 2002. To do it, they had to beat a two-time defending state champion. Instead, it's the Crusaders who come away with the hardware with an impressive 7-0 win in a third consecutive state championship. Well, our final score in the Division 8 final, Muskegon Catholic Central over Waterford Our Lady of the Lake, 7-0. We have certainly enjoyed bringing this game to you. For Keith Nichol, our entire Fox Sports Detroit crew, I'm Dan Dickerson. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your holiday weekend. The Division 2 title game is coming up at 1 o'clock.